Hey everyone, welcome to this video about pyramids. Pyramids are some of the most iconic structures in the world, and they've fascinated people for thousands of years. In this video, we'll explore what pyramids are, how they were built, and what they meant to the civilizations that created them. So, what are pyramids? Simply put, a pyramid is a massive structure with a square or triangular base with sloping sides that meet at a point. Most pyramids are built as tombs for pharaohs, kings, or other important figures in ancient Egyptian and Mesoamerican cultures. Pyramids were also constructed in other parts of the world, such as China as well as Sudan, but the ones in Egypt and Mexico are the most famous. How were pyramids built? Well, the exact method varies depending on the culture and the time period, but in general, pyramids were constructed by teams of workers using simple tools like chisels, hammers, and ropes. The workers would quarry large blocks of stone, transport them to the construction site, and then use ramps and pulleys to lift them into place. The construction process was incredibly labor-intensive and could take decades to complete. But why did these ancient cultures go to such great lengths to build pyramids? The answer is complex, but in general, pyramids were meant to serve as a grand monument to the power and prestige of the pharaohs and kings who commissioned them. In ancient Egyptian culture, for instance, it was believed that the pharaohs were divine beings who needed elaborate tombs to ensure their safe passage to the afterlife. The pyramids were also designed to align with the stars and other celestial bodies, serving as symbols of the pharaoh's connection to the gods. In Mesoamerican culture, such as the Aztecs and the Maya, pyramids served a similar purpose as monumental tombs for important figures, but they were also used as religious and ceremonial centers. The pyramids were often topped with temples or other sacred structures, and were used for rituals related to agriculture, warfare, and other aspects of daily life. Is there a biggest pyramid? Yes, there is. The biggest pyramid in the world is the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is located on the outskirts of Cairo in Egypt. It was built around 4,500 years ago as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu, who ruled Egypt during the 26th century BC. The Great Pyramid of Giza is truly massive. It is over 480 feet, 146 meters tall, making it one of the tallest man-made structures in the world until the construction of the Eiffel Tower in the late 19th century. The pyramid is also incredibly wide, with each side measuring over 750 feet, 230 meters long. The construction of the Great Pyramid in Giza is a marvel of engineering and human ingenuity. It's estimated that it took over 20 years to complete and required the labor of tens of thousands of workers. The pyramid is made up of over 2 million blocks of limestone, each weighing several tons. The blocks were quarried from nearby sites and transported to the construction site using ramps and sledges. Despite being over 4,500 years old, the Great Pyramid of Giza remains remarkably well preserved, and it's still possible to explore its interior chambers and corridors. Visitors can climb up a narrow passageway to reach the king's chambers, which contain an empty granite sarcophagus, as well as a series of ventilation shafts that are thought to have been used for religious or astronomical purposes. Overall, the Great Pyramid of Giza is a true wonder of the ancient world, and it continues to amaze and inspire people from all over the world to this day. Did you know about a hidden corridor that was discovered in the Great Pyramid of Egypt? The Great Pyramid is one of the most famous and awe-inspiring structures in the world. It was built over 4,500 years ago and was the tallest man-made structure in the world until the Eiffel Tower was built in the late 19th century. The pyramid here was built as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu, and it's estimated that it took over 20 years to build and required the labor of tens of thousands of workers. Despite centuries of exploration and study, there's still much we don't know about the Great Pyramid. That's why the discovery of the hidden corridor in 2017 was so exciting. The corridor was discovered using a technique called muon radiography, which involves detecting cosmic particles that penetrate through the pyramid. By analyzing the patterns of these particles, researchers were able to create a 3D image of the interior of the pyramid and identify the previously unknown corridor. So, what is hidden in this corridor? And what does it tell us about the Great Pyramid? Well, the corridor is located above the Grand Gallery, which is a long, steeply sloping corridor that leads to the king's chambers, which is the final resting place of the pharaoh Khufu. The newly discovered corridor is located just above the Grand Gallery. It extends to the north and south of the gallery. At this point, it's not clear what the purpose of the corridor was. However, some experts speculate that it may have been used for religious or symbolic purposes. Whatever its purpose, the discovery of the hidden corridor highlights the fact that there is still much we don't know about the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid of Egypt is an amazing structure that continues to captivate people's imaginations to this day. The discovery of this hidden corridor is just one more piece of the puzzle, and it shows that there is still much more to learn about this incredible wonder of the world. In conclusion, pyramids are some of the most awe-inspiring structures in the world, and they continue to capture our imagination to this day. Whether you're marveling at the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Pyramid of the Sun, or any of the other pyramids around the world, you can't help but be impressed by the sheer scale and complexity of these ancient wonders. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.